Hello, welcome to Spread Book Joy. Today I want to talk to you about middle grade March. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jack, and if you're not new, welcome back to Spread Book Joy. And if you're not new, you'll know that I started this channel primarily to promote children's literature, so great books for children for home or school, in order to get the right book to the right child at the right time and make a lifelong passion for reading, like ignite that passion for reading. So that's why I started the channel, and my channel has evolved quite a bit since I started it 2.5 years ago, and it's sort of encompassing my own reading. And I realised lately I've done very few middle grade reviews, and I have been reading middle grade. I've read a couple that I meant to review and put up on here and just didn't get round to doing, which is really awful because I still want that to be a core central mission for my channel, because I still believe that someone somewhere will watch a video that I've done on a book and get that book to a child, and it will just delight them and send them on a lifelong journey of reading. And I thought, if that happens for one person, then this whole sort of journey I've taken with this channel, with creating my own blogs, I have a blog and a website dedicated to this, that all of that will be worth it. So yeah, I've been a bit disappointed in myself lately, the amount of middle grade books that I have on my TBR still, the ones that I've read and not put a review up for. So middle grade March is coming up. What a way to fix it. It's middle grade March now, really, because it is now March. So I'm a bit late posting my pile of possibilities and recommendations video, which is what this is really. But I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's been going on behind the scenes with me in terms of these things. I have been doing reviews for a website called Just Imagine, which I will link in the description box below. If you're a teacher or a parent, you'll find some amazing book reviews on there. They get sent books left, right and centre from publishers all over the place. So they then send parcels of books out to qualified teachers like myself to do critical reviews of these books, primarily for teachers and educators, but I think parents would find it really useful as well. So I've been doing reviews for them, so that's kind of been where my reviews have been going, and I've been neglecting my own website, newsletter and my reviews on here. So I really want that to change. So watch this space, because I want to pick up again on my middle grade reading and on posting regular middle grade reviews. So with that out of the way, I wanted to talk a little bit about Middle Grade March, which is a great readathon. It has been hosted for a number of years on BookTube. I think the hosts are the Curly Reader, Books and Jams, and Life Between Words. One of them's a new host this year. I think it's Life Between Words is a new host this year. And they are hosting this wonderful month-long event. They're going to be doing some live reading events each week. I don't know if that's on, just sort of rotating through their channels the way hosts tend to do. They've got a group read of a fabulous, fabulous book, which I have found on Scribd, audio is on Scribd. The book is called A Rover's Story by Jasmine Waga, and the audio is on Scribd, and it is all about Mars rover sort of telling their story of their creation, and they're being built and they're learning these sort of human qualities off of the people that are building them, and then they're sent off to Mars and the whole world is watching them. And it looks fabulous, looks absolutely amazing. So I'm going to definitely be listening to that on Scribd. That's one thing that I think is going to be a definite read for me. And it sort of ticks a prompt, one of their prompts. So I'm going to talk about the prompts in a minute. And I'm going to talk to you about my piles of possibilities for each prompt. And yeah, and then maybe some recommendations at the end. I particularly want to talk to you about a couple of books that I read that I didn't put a review out for yet, but I think I still want to do a review video, particularly for one of them, because I love the author, I love the book, and it's worth its individual review. Middle grade March is specifically aimed at getting adults to read middle grade fiction. So middle grade is just a marketing category. It's a category saying so booksellers and librarians and people can say, here is a section for you if you're aged between 8 and 12, go over here. But this is a marketing category only. It's only so that we know who to target the ad campaigns and sort of where to put these things in the bookshop, and which, where to direct the children to. But really, these marketing categories are very arbitrary. I did a really good video that I'm very, very proud of. 2 videos actually. I had to split it into 2 because it went on for too long. But it's a series, 2 videos I'm most proud of on this channel. I put a call out to some of my BookTube friends and asked why they read middle grade fiction if they're an adult, because it's something that's become much more prevalent in recent years. I've noticed the more and more adults reading middle grade fiction, not because they're reading it for a professional duty the way I started reading. I started reading middle grade fiction as a professional duty because I'm a teacher, or because they're a parent, but because they themselves enjoy it and they want to sort of escape, and something that's kind of safe and wholesome and something that's really escapist. And there are so many amazing possibilities in these types of books. So I did a whole video based on responses I got for a community post that I put out, and also some lovely booktube friends sent me their reasons for reading middle grade, and they were absolutely wonderful. So I'll link these videos if you're interested in them. They were great. They really gave me an insight into why adults are reading children's fiction, why you should read children's books. And I fully, wholeheartedly promote that. If you're an adult and you haven't picked up a children's book in many years, I would urge you to try it, to try and pick a middle grade book and try it. I've even got a video that I made for middle grade books that adults will enjoy, and I will also link that in the description box. So yeah, let's be clear, middle grade is a marketing category. What we're talking about here when we say middle grade March, it's a nice bit of alliteration, but really we're talking about really good literature, primarily written with children in mind, but it's good literature nonetheless. So having said all of that, let's get into the prompts, shall we, and my possibilities. The first prompt is to read an award winner other than the Newbery medal. The Newbery is a prestigious American Children's Book Award, so this is actually happening for me. This isn't a possibility. I'm in the middle of reading, well, 2/3 into Goodnight Mr. Tom by Michelle Magorian, which I started yesterday and I cannot put down. Actually, I started it 2 days ago, but I can't put it down. I absolutely love it, and it won the Guardian Award and the International Readers Association Award, so this is a double award winner. So that's my book for that. We're reading this as part of the FOMO book club. It's our March and April pick, so if you want to take part, I'll link in the description box below the video where I announce this beautiful, beautiful book. So the second prompt is sci-fi dystopian, oddity. So all of my sort of pile of possibilities really are being taken from my TBR. So Oddity by Eli Brown is a book that I was sent last year by a lovely friend over on Instagram, Narwhal Books, and she sent me this because I saw her do a review of it and I said, that sounds amazing. So she just sent it to me. People are just so lovely in this community, aren't they? And this is about 13-year-old Clover Elkin. She lives in a land of marvels at the edge of the Unified States of America. So it's set in an alternate America. She dreams of a life of adventure collecting magical oddities, ordinary objects with extraordinary powers, as her late mother did before her. But when her father is killed by lawless men, his last words set her on a quest to find the most necessary oddity of all, one that could help start a war or end it. So it's an alternate universe and a bit dystopian. So yeah, I think that kind of fits the prompt. The other thing that I think fits the prompt, though I'm thinking I'm saving this for Trans Girl April, which we'll talk about in my next reading ramble, but the Strange Worlds Travel Agency by L.D. Lipinski, which is a book I've been after for some time. And this is about travelling in sort of multi-dimensional universe travel or multi-world travel. So I kind of think that would fit with it, but because I think there's a non-binary character in it, I think I'm going to save this for Trans Girl April. Another possibility is Show Us Who You Are by Elle McNichol. So this is kind of a dystopian sci-fi, not dystopian, a sci-fi adventure with a neurodiverse lead character. So it says here, Cora, when Cora meets Adrian, she isn't looking for a new best friend. She doesn't want to explain that she's different, but Adrian surprises her, and soon she's drawn into a whirlwind of fun, adventure and true friendship, and into the world of the mysterious Pomegranate Institute. Cora becomes captivated by Pomegranate's hologram technology that can bring people back to life, but there are secrets lurking beneath the surface that threaten everything she knows to be true. Can Cora fight to make her voice heard and not lose sight of herself? This has been on my TBR for far too long. I loved Elle McNichol's A Kind of Spark. It was like 2-3 years ago my middle grade book of the year. She is a neurodiverse author and all of her characters are neurodiverse, and I'm just about to talk about another prompt coming up which is about neurodiverse characters. So this could fit either the sci-fi or for the neurodiverse characters prompt. The next prompt is to pick a book with sky or sea on the cover, and I've got a number of those on my TBR at the moment. I have Back Home, which is Michelle Magorian's book about the Second World War, children who were evacuated to the United States coming home from there to the UK and how that is. And based on Goodnight Mr. Tom, I think this is going to be a really, really strong possibility that I will be reading this very soon after Goodnight Mr. Tom. Although, if it breaks my heart too much, I might have to just give my heart a little bit of time to recover before I hit another Second World War story. So that's one of them. And you can see, look, there's the sky. Another one I've got, and it's been on my TBR for far too long, is Valley of Lost Secrets by Lesley Parr. Again, another Second World War mystery about evacuees who were evacuated to Wales, and I believe they find a skull hidden in a tree in the Welsh valleys. So this is by Lesley Parr. You can see sky, we've got the rays coming down from the sky there. So yeah, this is lovely, another possibility, though I might be all World War II'd out by the end of Goodnight Mr. Tom, as I've just mentioned. This is very exciting. This is House of Shells by Afia Traore, and you can see the sea there. And Afia Traore did a debut novel, Children of the Quicksands, a few years ago, which I reviewed for Chicken House Books. I sent a proof copy, and Chicken House kindly sent me this one as well for review, which I haven't yet reviewed, but this would be amazing because I love Children of the Quicksands, and this is all about Kuki, who refuses to believe in the curse of the Abiku. Her destiny is not to die young. Her biggest problem right now is moving house and fitting in at her new school. One evening while exploring, Kuki spies a driveway lined with giant palm trees. It leads to an abandoned beach house of shadows and scattered seashells, and in the fading light she meets a girl called Anilo. They become friends, the best of friends, until Kuki makes a terrifying discovery. So this sounds pretty awesome as well. So the next prompt is to read a book featuring a neurodiverse character. I particularly love the work of Elle McNichol though, because she is a neurodiverse author, so it's an own voices experience when you're reading her books. And I've already talked about Show Us Who You Are, and the other book I have is Like a Charm. We had World Book Day at school the other day, and one of the girls dressed up as this character. So Ramaya lives in Edinburgh, and Edinburgh is a city filled with magical creatures. No one can see them except Ramaya Knox. As she is pulled into her family's world of secrets and spells, Ramaya sets out to discover the truth about the hidden folk, with only 3 words of warning from her grandmother: beware the sirens. Plunged into an adventure that will change everything, Ramaya is about to learn that there is more to her power than she ever imagined. Sorry about that noise, that's Pedro. Pedro had an operation, so he's got his little suit on, but you see how he's ripped the suit? You right, Ped? All right, get down, off we go. The last prompt is to read books published in the last year, as well as having, well, I could have the House of Shells, or this other one that Chicken House sent me, the Spell Tailors, which also sounds really good. How pretty their covers are. I just love the way they present their books. But I've also got Amari and the Great Game, which was the follow-up to Amari and the Night Brothers, which I will link review I did of a few years ago, and this I picked up pretty much soon after it was published, I think back in September or October, and still haven't read it. But look at this, how pretty is this? Those sprayed edges. But yeah, it's a sequel. Amari found out that she had magical powers. She's looking for her brother who's gone missing. It's kind of like she goes to work for this bureau, kind of like, it's like Men in Black, but they kind of look after the supernatural world, and yeah, so she's being trained to work there. The other one I've got is Tiger by SF Said, and I really want to read this. This is illustrated by Dave McKean, who has done some illustrations for David Almond, if anyone's familiar with his work. But I really love the look of this book. It's about a boy who finds a magical speaking tiger in a dumpster in the city. So yeah, I really want to read this one as well. So in terms of books I'd recommend for you, there's a few that I read in the past 6 months that I would highly recommend to anybody interested in reading middle grade. And the first one I want to recommend is October by Katja Balin. It would fit with the sky prompt because you've got the sky on the cover, this gorgeous Angela Harding cover design. And it's all about a girl called October. And I'll put a link to a review video I did, but I love this book. Like I said, one of the best books I read last year, not just middle grade, any book. And it's beautifully written, and it's about a girl called October who lives in the woods with her father. They live off grid. grade. She's never really known anything else. She's never gone to school. She's never done anything like that. She has sort of vague memories of her mother who has left them, and her mother tries to contact her every year on her birthday, tries to write her in October, doesn't want anything to do with her. And then her father has an accident and she has to go and live with her mother in the city. So that's a great book. And another fantastic book I read last year, the day after it was released, and I sat in bed and I read the whole thing cover to cover, and then I didn't do a review of it, but it was around the time that I was moving and then moving again. So it's just been a bit late in coming, but there will be a full review of this out, and it is Layla and the Blue Fox by Kieran Millward Hargrave, and the art is by her husband Tom DeFreston, and this is their second collaboration. Their first one, Juliet and the Shark, I absolutely adored, and I've got a full review of that. I'd highly recommend that one as well. But this fits in with the sort of sea theme on the cover here, published in the last year, so there you go. But look at this gorgeous copy. This is a Waterstone special edition, and I got this, I pre-ordered this one. And yeah, look at these lovely end papers. But it's the story of Layla. Layla is a Syrian refugee living in the UK, but she's staying with her auntie while her mum works. Her mum's a scientist who works in Norway, and she goes over to be sort of reunited with her mum because they're going on a mission to follow an Arctic fox. It's got this long journey that it's taking, and it's talking about climate change and the effects on animals, but also about journeys and the journeys that people have to take to survive, like the fox and like Layla herself. So it's just a fantastic, beautiful story and just a stunning book. And also, I read the third Aveline Jones book. Now, I'm not recommending you start with the third one. I would definitely start with the first one, The Vanishing of Aveline Jones. I read this, and again, it was around the October time when I was in the middle of having moved and then moving again. So I didn't put a review of this one out, but I loved this again. This is the third instalment in the Aveline Jones mysteries. They're kind of supernatural mysteries. This one is The Haunting of Aveline Jones. The second one is The Bewitching of Aveline Jones. And this is The Vanishing of Aveline Jones. And they're all fantastic books. Aveline's a great character. I just love the whole cozy feel of it. They're really more perfect for sort of October, wintry, autumnal reading, but any time of the year. If you like a good mystery, if you like a good scare, then try the Aveline Jones books. So that's what I'm going to finish on, because I could talk about middle grade all day. I would urge you to watch my previous videos on the middle grade, why adults read middle grade, and some more recommendations like for adults on middle grade, my favourite middle grade books. I'll put all of this in the description box below. I do have a middle grade playlist where I post all of my reviews. I think there's probably about 30 videos on there by now. So I will leave that in the description box too. Let me know, do you read middle grade? If you do, can you put a suitable animal emoji in your comment to let me know? And are you taking part in middle grade March? What are you thinking about reading? Have you put together your pile of possibilities, your TBR? Let me know in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you again here soon. Bye.